What's up, Dan? Not much, man. But Lian Li did send out their new LANCOOL 207 digital case to take a look at. Does that have a screen on the front of it? It does. What's displayed on the screen? I have no idea. Well, let's build in this thing and find out. The build came out looking great. Tell me about the case. I agree, the build came out looking super good. A stealth build for the most part, because I really wanted the screen on the bottom to really stand out. So let's go ahead and talk about the exterior, and then we'll jump in to the interior and the build. So we've got a mesh panel on the front. We've got glass on the side, and it's got a slight tint to it. We've got mesh down here, which lets fresh air into our bottom fans. And since the power supply is front mounted, it's not blocking any of the air from getting into the bottom fan. So that's a cool design. So we've got air coming in here, air coming in the rear, and then air coming in through this little mesh part right here. You can see the rest of the back panel is solid. If we take a look at the rear, we've got ventilation for our rear fan. We've got more ventilation holes over here. We've got our built-in power plug that I'll discuss a bit later. GPU sits right here. Here's where our motherboard is. The top panel is completely mesh. Then our I/O consists of a USB-C, a combo audio jack, a power button, and 2 USB Type A. And then we've also got our screen on the bottom. And this is one of the templates offered by the Lian Li LANCOOL software, but we'll talk about this more a bit later. So let's go ahead, take off the panels, and then start talking about the inside. So the 207 digital comes with 2 pre-installed 140mm fans on the front and 2 pre-installed 120mm fans on the bottom. It's got a built-in GPU sag bracket, and let me get a little bit more light on it. So it's supporting that corner of the GPU and can be adjusted up or down, or if you have a longer card, you've got these 3 slots right here. So you can actually remove this thumb screw and you can move this whole thing over one or over to the far slot right here. So depending on the thickness and length of your GPU, you can go up or down or use whatever slot is needed. And it's working perfectly in supporting this 5060 Ti. You can see it's perfectly level. It can support ATX motherboards and no back connect boards with this case. It's got a front mount power supply design. Power supply is not included, but it gets mounted in the front, and because of that, the power cable for the PSU plugs into this port for the case. Then Lian Li gives you this cable right here, which I've routed right here. It goes all the way over to the power supply. The only downside to this is there's a mesh panel right here, and your power switch is going to end up behind it. So you'd probably just want to leave the power switch on if you turn it off, unless you want to remove that panel each time. And because it's front mounted, that means the cables pop out on this side. And at first I thought cable management was going to be a bit tricky and difficult, but this may be the best cable management that I've ever done. I know I say that with each video, but this one is really clean. Because the CPU cables, I was able to hide them above these little notches right here. They're actually sitting up here. So you can see they pop out right here and go towards the motherboard. And then I've got them kind of tucked under here so you can't even see them. And they pop out right there. They go all the way down. We've got our motherboard 24 pin right there. We've got like our USB-A and USB-C for the front panel connectors. Then they go down to the power supply. Then the GPU ones are tucked in right next to the power supply right here, which it's not focusing on, sorry. But they are tucked away very nice. And the cable management came out so unbelievably good. Overall, a really clean build and a really easy case to build in. Then last but not least, we've got the screen down here. Like I was saying, this is only one of the templates that Lian Li offers through their L-Connect 3 software. So let's go ahead and take a look at some that Lian Li offers. Final thoughts on the build in the case. So I like this case a lot. I thought it was really fun to build in. I thought it was really easy to build in, and I didn't really run into any hiccups. The only thing that took me a long period of time was planning cable management, but that pretty much goes for any case because I always go absolutely overboard, so that always takes some planning. But I think this is a really good case. And the best part about it is it's only $110 USD. So you get an ATX case with 4 pre-installed fans and a screen for only $110. So I definitely think it is a great value. And the only downsides to this case are, like I said earlier, the power switch is going to be located behind this panel. And if you're a nut like me, I power off my computer every single night, and I also flip the power switch, which is kind of cumbersome because I would have to remove this panel every single time. And one thing I would like to see on future revisions is instead of the screen being placed on the front, with all of this added real estate from having the power supply on the front, I would have loved to see the screen right here, because I think that's a bit more visible from where you're sitting at your desk. Because let's say it's positioned like this, well, I'm going to be sitting over here looking at my monitor. Then if I look to the right, that's going to be a bit hard to see when on the front like that. So hopefully they also make a future version where there's a screen on the side. But other than that, I don't really see any drawbacks to this case. Overall, a good case and worth looking into if you're in the market. Well, thanks for watching. Subscribe if you enjoy my content. like the video, comment what you think, and then I'll see y'all in the next video.